Hey guys, so this is going to be a tutorial for Ixl C.6. This is a continuation of C.5. It's just got different examples of literary terms. So I'm not expecting you to know these right offhand. It's okay if you want to look up some examples and just kind of keep them off to the side like I have up here to refer to. So I just want to go through each one of these briefly. So an anaphora is it's just a fancy word for repetition, right? So in the example over here, you see how he's got with at the beginning of each one of these clauses, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, right? So that's an anaphora. So if things repeat, anaphora, okay? Antithesis. Antithesis, it just means like the opposite. So you say something and then you say the opposite thing. Write quickly and you will never write well and you will soon write quickly. That's an example of antithesis. So it's just the direct opposite of something or someone else is what that word means. Okay. Assonance is the repetition of a sound inside a word, right? So you guys are probably familiar with alliteration, which is a repetition of a sound at the beginning of a word. But assonance is that same idea, but inside. So the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. That's an example of assonance, right? So the repetition of a sound inside. Chiasmus, I think that's how you pronounce that. It's been a long time since I've had somebody besides me say that word. But basically what it is it's just you have two words or some number of words in a sentence. It's usually two that you just flip them backwards, right? So have language for knowledge and knowledge for language. Love makes time pass, time makes love pass, right? So you see how those words are flipped around in the second part. That's chiasmus. And then the last one is understatement, which is just like a reverse exaggeration. Okay. And you guys do this all the time. Your teacher comes in and they're super grumpy and they like throw stuff around the room and you go, well, he's having a good day. Right. Well, never mind. I lied. That's an example of sarcasm. That's not understatement, but you see it up here, right? It's a bit cold today. You don't say. That's an understatement. It looks like it rained a bit last night. Car underwater. That's an understatement. Makes sense? All right, so let's do a couple of these together. All right, so roll on, thou dark and deep blue ocean. Okay, so we have our choices of apostrophe or chiasmus. So let's look that one up. Okay. So an apostrophe is addressing someone absent, dead, or non-human as if that person or thing were present. So if we go back over here to our example, so he's talking to the ocean, and so the ocean is not present or alive. So that's an example of apostrophe. All right. It was a bit wet in New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina. So if you're not familiar with this, Hurricane Katrina basically put all of New Orleans underwater. So to say it was a bit wet is a little bit of an understatement. So like an opposite exaggeration. So you notice that this is a repetition. And from our examples, repetition is anaphora. So we know that one. And do not go gentle into that good night. Age, rave, day, rage, rage. So that's the repetition of inside sounds, which would be assonance. And again, guys, if you need to have these tabs pulled up with the definition so that you can go back and check your work, I would rather you do that than, have 1,000 questions and spend 3 hours trying to do this thing that should take you 10 minutes. Okay. This is going to ruin my whole day. Grace in Avatar after being shot. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's an example of understatement. If your first instinct is to, after being shot, is to say this is going to ruin my whole day. let's jump up here and see what happens when we get to the challenge zone. All right. So this, it just doesn't put them in bold for you, and it gives you 3 options up here. So, where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? A nation turns its lonely eyes to you. So, Joe DiMaggio, I'm guessing, was dead by this time. So, it helps if you know who Joe DiMaggio was. He was a famous baseball player. But anyway, you can tell from the sentence that he's not present. And talking to a person that's not present is apostrophe. And let's do one more together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. Okay, so anytime your captain comes on and says we have a small problem, that's going to be understatement, right? All 4 engines have stopped. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll be available to help you. If you need help, please reach out, and hope you guys are doing well.